Yes, so creatives, welcome to class. So in our class today, we'll be learning how to draft 3 different types of necklines. Okay, so stick to the end so you can learn. The first neckline we want to learn is the sweetheart neckline. So we'll be learning the sweetheart neckline, the deep illusion neckline, and the asymmetrical neckline. So as you can see, I have my basic bodice patterns in front of me. This I've already drafted the bustier pattern, and also for this I have opened up the basic bodice pattern. So I placed a paper on fold and I traced out the original basic bodice front on the paper, and so I got this. So for this particular one, we'll be needing it for the asymmetrical neckline. We cannot use this to cut out the asymmetric neckline, so you need something like this. So in short, trace out your basic bodice on another pattern paper this way on fold to get this for your asymmetric neckline. So we'll place it aside and we'll be starting with the sweetheart neckline. Okay, we'll also be placing this aside. So for the sweetheart neckline, we are using a bustier. You already know how to draft a bustier. So if you don't know yet, kindly watch the video on bustier in the free class. So now that we are having a bustier pattern, to get your sweetheart neckline, you will determine the part of your cleavage area that you want to open, and this determination is done by measuring from your neckline to your cleavage area and the exact part you want to stop. Okay, so you can go as far as 5 inches, 6 inches, 6.5 inches, depending on what you want. So for this tutorial, I'll be marking 5 inches. So you just measure down and mark your cleavage measurements. After marking your cleavage measurements, you just link it to your first dart leg like this. I prefer you use your curves to bring out a smooth curve. Okay, so you just smoothly curve it out like this, and we have gotten our sweetheart neckline. It's as easy as that. And if you are working with your illusion, if you are working with your illusion yoke, it simply means this part of the body will serve as your yoke. So let's cut this out so that you see exactly what you have done. As usual, you know how to adjust your bustier. You measure these 2 lines. This is usually longer, and if it's you extend this out a little, okay, like this. So you do your blendings, and then you cut out. So let's now cut out our sweetheart neckline. So after cutting out, this is what I'm having. For this, you transfer it to your fabric on fold. Okay, this is the center front to be on fold, and then you cut out this. So after transferring this on fold, you see the effect of the sweetheart neckline. Now I've cut out on fold. Can you see? So I've transferred it to fabric on fold. Okay, I'm using this paper as an illustration to demonstrate a fabric. Okay, so this is what we're having. Can you see the effects? And then for the sides, I've also cut out in twos. So this is how to make your sweetheart neckline. It's as easy as that. Now we are moving on to the next neckline for today. It's the deep illusion neckline. Okay. Now for the deep illusion neckline, I've also created a bustier. Okay, already know how to draft a bustier. So now to determine your deep illusion neckline, you first of all determine how deep you want the neckline to be. It can go as deep as the waistline. Okay, so let's assume in this tutorial that you want it to be deep down the waistline area. Okay, so in that case, you mark from that waistline area, you will just mark half an inch. Okay, you mark half an inch, and then you will come up a little. You may come down from your neckline. Okay, now come down from your neckline by about 5.5 inches and mark. So on that 5.5 inches point, you now mark 3/4 of an inch inwards, 3/4 of an inch inwards like this, and mark. So what you want to create is the down. the down part is narrower than the upper part, okay? So it keeps coming wider towards the up, okay? So now that we have marked these lines, we want to connect them with our ruler like this, okay? Can you see now? Can you see that the lower part is tiny, the upper part is wider? Though this also depends on preference. You can decide to make all the parts the same, okay? But we are trying to create a beautiful effect, so we are doing this. And at this point, you now connect it to this first dart leg using your curves, okay? And just curve it out nicely like this. Can you see now? So we have created our deep illusion neckline, and this is how it's going to be when you are cutting out. So let's separate the darts. Let's cut out the darts. As usual, after cutting out this way, you go ahead and close your waist dart. So we'll be closing this waist dart. But before that, let's separate that. Okay. So we have basically cut out our darts. So the next thing we want to do is to cut out our illusion yoke. Now normally the yoke usually ends around here if you are doing just a sweetheart neckline or just a straight yoke, okay? You cut out like this. But since this is a deep illusion yoke, you just keep cutting until you get to the M line. Yes, the M line of the basic bodice. Can you see now? So this is our deep illusion neckline. So for this, you are using a tulle net or a skin tone net for this entire yoke, okay? So by the time you want to join, this is a fabric and this is a skin net, okay? Closes that. Ensure that you are cutting this skin net out on fold. We are cutting this part out on fold, and we are cutting this part in twos. Cutting also this side out in twos, okay? So I'll just quickly cut out, demonstrating with my paper so that you see the finished look. So when we say we are cutting that part on fold, this is what we mean. So, assuming this is your tulle net, okay, your mesh, you just fold the mesh like this, and then you place your yoke on it like this. So the folded part aligns with the center front, okay, this way, and cut out accordingly. And here we are done cutting out. Let's check what we have there. So this is it. This is exactly how our mesh will look like. And then for the other parts, you'll be cutting them out in twos. And here we are also done cutting out the other patterns in twos, okay? Can you see? So this is our final result. This part is you'll be using tulle nets, okay? Mesh. And then here you are using your usual fabric, okay? So that is it. That's how to cut a deep sweetheart neckline. I hope you have learned. I hope you will practice. So let's move now to the next neckline, which is the asymmetric or monostrap neckline. So as explained earlier in the introductory part of this video, we have cut out our basic bodies on fold. So we are having it open for the asymmetric neckline. So for this neckline, you can also use a bustier, just like we've done for the rest, to draft out your bustier. So to draft out your bustier, you need to trace your under bust line. Already you know how to do this, so I'll quickly impute the bustier to this pattern before we proceed. So we have our bustier already here. We have done our under bust tightening and over bust tightening, but this over bust tightening will be altered. We will not be making use of this over bust tightening because we'll be tightening at the neckline area now, okay? So to get our symmetric neckline, the first thing you want to do, you determine the part that you want a monostrap to be. So after determining that, let's assume this is the part. So in that case, you just measure half an inch inwards and mark. So, and now you will now come down. There are times you need to attach an off the shoulder sleeve. So let's assume you want to attach off the shoulder sleeve. In that case, you come down and end somewhere. Okay, maybe you measure about 4 inches from your shoulder tip down, okay, or 4.5 inches down, like this, and mark. So in this case, you will need to just link from here to here with your curve, or depends on how you want it. If you want it straight, you can just take it straight, okay, or you take it slanted. All depends on your choice, okay. So let's assume you want it curved. You just go like this. Can you see now? So you are having that for now. Now let's assume you don't want any shoulder at all. You are not attaching any sleeve this way, just like the one displayed on the picture. So in that case, you are taking it from here, okay. So you are taking it from here. You use your curve or your straight ruler to link it, okay, to link it beautifully, depending on the effect you want to see. You can use your free hand. All this depends on the effect you want to see. Beautifully link it like this. So we are working with this now, okay. We want it all off. So in this case, we now cut off that area. So this is the armhole, remember? So you are cutting off from the armhole entirely. Can you see? So now that we have this neckline, we'll now do our necessary adjustments. So to do our adjustment, when we close the bust dart, this part, like I mentioned earlier, will not be useful. We'll close the bust dart and transfer the bust dart to the shoulder on this side. So to do that, we simply open up the shoulder line, okay. As you already know the rules, we open up the shoulder line to the bust point. Now it is easy for us to close the bust dart. Can you see now? You can now close the bust dart. So we have closed the bust dart and mask down. So now we can now cut out the bustier on this part by removing our darts like this. And we'll still do the same thing on this side, okay. Remember to blend. Can you see now? We have our bustier on one side. Then on this side, it is quite clear. We'll just use this opening, okay. We'll be using the overbust tightening on this side. So that means you are opening up. After opening up, you close the bust dart. So you now close the bust dart. And now the asymmetric neckline for your bustier is ready. So when you want to cut this out, you just cut this out the way it is, just adding the necessary allowances. On this part, you are adding ½ inch all around. On this side, you are adding ½ inch all around, except for the side that you'll be adding 1 inch sewing allowance. So I hope you have learned something from our neckline analysis video. Thanks for watching. If you want the sewing process, don't forget to contact me on WhatsApp. So I hope you can draft this and draft it better.